why connecting to or identifying the wins in your story is so important. So when you're looking through your story, I want you to start thinking about some of the wins you've had along the way. I mean, it's easy for us to focus on the negative. That's kind of human nature, isn't it? But what I want you to do is look, as you're identifying the threads in your story of passions and interests, I'd also like you to look at the wins you've had along the way. And that can be wins from childhood, from teen years, from young adult years, current years. And to look beyond the obvious wins, which most of us look at in our career. Oh, I delivered a certain project. I achieved a promotion. I won an award at work. There are other wins along the way that you've had as well in your personal life. The reason this is so important is because it's a way to encourage you to start reviewing yourself with confidence. People have a really hard time talking about the things that they're good at, or the things that they've overcome, or where they've achieved. Why? Because from young, we're taught not to brag and boast. That's drummed into us by the grandparents, by our parents. Don't go through life bragging and boasting. And to some degree, that's a good bit of advice, because you don't want to be the person that comes across as cocky, arrogant, full of yourself, and all of those things. But you also need to understand and to need to be very clear about where you have achieved, how you have achieved, because these are important things you are going to have to articulate, especially in an interview. Often, you get asked in an interview about how you've succeeded. What did you do to overcome certain challenges? Well, what you did to overcome the challenge and the fact that you overcame the challenge is a win. And if you are uncomfortable talking about the good or the wins in your life, you're going to come across as nervous or as withholding, and that does not create a feeling of confidence, and it doesn't create a feeling of trust. And so it's important to get very clear about your wins and to get very comfortable with your wins. And as I said, it's not only about professional wins, because sometimes, I've been in interviews, I've had people I've interviewed when I was hiring. And, in their nervousness, they can't really articulate a professional win. Well, if you're very clear and comfortable with your personal wins, whether you coached a sporting team and you took that team from being at the bottom of the ladder to the top of the ladder, that's a win. And if you can give that as an example, it counts as well. So when you start digging for your wins or start reviewing your wins in life, make sure that you're comfortable sourcing it from both your professional and your personal life.